Thanks for watching this edition of the Fox 7 Austin Crime Watch digital exclusive. I'm Dave Froehlich. We're taking a look at some of the crime stories that have made headlines recently in our area. A corrections officer and his relative found dead. The Travis County Sheriff's Office is now investigating. Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis spoke to neighbors about the deadly shooting.
Es una colonia tranquila.
The Oak Crest neighborhood in East Austin. One resident saying she walks her dog every night, considers it a safe and quiet place to live. But Wednesday morning, crime scene tape blocks off this home.
Lo siente uno, pues no se esperaba uno que pasaran esas cosas aquí.
Travis County Sheriff's deputies were called out at a little after 2 early Wednesday morning to do a welfare check at this home on Dalmatian Lane.
They discovered 2 parties that both had sustained gunshot wounds. One was obviously deceased. He's a male in his 20s. There was a female in her teens who received CPR, but ultimately succumbed to her wound.
TCSO has identified the man as a Travis County correctional officer, and the girl was related to him.
Because both parties involved are deceased, we may never know exactly what happened, but our detectives will follow the evidence and put together the pieces to determine as well as they can what the circumstances were.
Neighbors reacting to the scene.
Es feo para la familia.
Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin News.
In East Austin, 2 people were found dead inside of a home. Police were called just after 4 on July 29th to the 1900 block of Pennsylvania Avenue. They say the 911 caller was a delivery driver who found the door of the house open and discovered the bodies inside. Police say there's no threat to the public. They do say this is also an active investigation. One man was caught on camera slashing tires on Teslas in East Austin. Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis spoke to some of the car owners.
It was the morning of Rafid Ali's birthday.
I woke up and I got in the car and I was like, okay, to the gym I go. And then, I got a warning, like, please pull over immediately. Your tire's flat, right? And I was like, what? I replaced the tires literally a week ago. He
drives a Tesla. It captures video at all times. So he checked his cameras.
It pulls up a guy pulling up in the middle of the night, parking right next to me, getting out. He's wearing a just head to toe black, right? But his face is completely exposed. And he just walks over to my car, looks directly into the camera, and just stabs the tire in with a knife, right? And then just looks directly at the camera again, gets back in his car, and just drives off.
He posted the video on Reddit asking for information about the guy. It popped up on Heather Eliasson's feed.
We saw the Reddit post. My boyfriend was like, check your cameras on the car.
Earlier that day, she had walked out to her Tesla and her tire was flat too. So she checked her cameras.
I saw the same individual that was in the video that was posted on Reddit and I was shocked. This is just bizarre, just odd, and I felt scared, but also just irritated.
She messaged Ali and they've been working to try to figure out who this man is. They're hoping Austin police are on it too.
Don't do crime, someone's going to care and actually do something about it eventually, right? Someone will do something about it eventually. And the legal fees are gonna outweigh any level of dopamine hit you're getting out of slashing a single tire.
I hope you get the mental health you need, but on top of that, I would like my money back.
Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin News.
Austin police say scammers are impersonating law enforcement officers and targeting Central Texans. They've had reports of callers who claim to be from APD or ICE, accusing the victims of fraudulent charges or issues with immigration status. Police say they'll never call you about something like this. If you think you've been targeted, you can report it to 311. Popular online blogger is in a desperate search for his dog. His pet and his car were recently stolen in South Austin, and while the car has been found, the dog is still missing. Fox 7 Austin's Rudy Koski has more.
Mabel Davis Park in South Austin is where Taylor Hannon typically walks his dog Noodles. Friday, Hannon and his friend Marco Garcia were at the park hoping his dog had returned to this familiar spot.
Maybe he found his way here. We spend a lot of time here.
Come on.
Noodles, a black terrier mix, was stolen Friday morning.
Yeah, it's been pretty panic-inducing. I just have a lot of empathy for Noodles. He is pretty attached to me, and he likes a handful of people and just doesn't. He's not a mean dog, but he's shy and keeps to himself, and he just really loves being around me. So not being around me probably is freaking him out a little bit.
This South Austin apartment complex along I-35 near Woodward Street is where this theft case began. Hannon says he was packing his red Honda Civic around 4 o'clock Friday morning, preparing for a weekend road trip.
My car was about 15 feet outside of my front door, so left the car going to get the AC going, threw my duffel bag in there, threw my dog in there, went to grab his food and his bed for the trip, and coming back out with the food in my hands, I saw somebody getting into my vehicle and drive off.
These scooters were left behind by the car thief and another man. That's how they arrived at the apartment complex, according to Garcia.
I called Bird, and they said they could help. They don't know. We're still waiting on them. But I think that if they have the person's information, they should give us the information.
Did they feel like that it's going to take a police investigation to do it?
I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure it's like privacy, some sort of privacy law, whatever, but they have the person's information.
Taylor Hannon is a popular online food blogger. News of the car theft and the loss of his dog went viral.
I'm scared for what he's just he's an overthinker of a dog, and just seems to have like human eyes. If anyone's ever met Noodles, like it looks like he's thinking all the time, and I just can't imagine kind of what he's going through right now.
A security camera from the La Quinta Inn at Oltorf recorded video of Hannon's red Honda passing by on the frontage road. It appears that the car was initially heading through the intersection toward the northbound I-35 on-ramp. But a second camera view shows how the car turned on East Oltorf. Hannon spent the day following the trail. The men could have let Noodles out. If not, Hannon had this message for them.
Feel free to have the car. I would like to have my dog back.
We don't have a good description of the men who took the car and the dog, but we do know that Noodles is chipped. So if he shows up at a shelter or at an animal clinic, Hannon could be contacted. So far this year, we're told that there's been more than 1,300 cases of auto theft in Austin. I'm Rudy Koski, Fox 7 Austin News.
New information in the fatal officer-involved shooting in New Braunfels has come to light. Both officers are on administrative leave while the Texas Rangers investigate, which is standard protocol. Police were at a domestic disturbance at the Sage Apartments on West San Antonio around 4 in the afternoon on July 26th. A man and woman were arguing, and when police went to approach them, the man reportedly lunged at police with a weapon, and they started firing at him. Police attempted life-saving measures, but the man died from his injuries. He's been identified as a 33-year-old from Spring, north of the Houston area. A dozen people were arrested recently in Cedar Park for driving while intoxicated. The police department is urging people not to get behind the wheel after drinking. Here's more from Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis.
If we're catching 12, how many did we not catch?
12 people arrested for driving while intoxicated in Cedar Park in just a week, some of them more than 3 times the legal limit.
Quite disturbing. These aren't people that were, just barely buzzed, which is still drunk driving. These are people that were highly intoxicated, which is cause for concern because, when you're that intoxicated, you don't have control of yourself and you put the public in danger.
Commander Thomas says many of the DWI arrests they make are from officers proactively looking for dangerous drivers. But sometimes, and even this past week, these drivers are involved in crashes.
There's innocent people out there that are out enjoying the things that our city has to provide with their families at times, and they get struck by a drunk driver and they're either seriously injured or killed. Then I'd also like to point out that there's several victims of drunk driving. The officers, first responders, firefighters, EMS that have to respond to these things, and they see the carnage and the heartache. Our dispatchers have to hear the pleas over the phone from people who encounter these bad crashes. Our records personnel have to read these reports. It's just everyone gets impacted by the sadness of these incidents.
He says they're avoidable, by using a rideshare service, having a friend pick you up, or planning ahead and having a designated driver.
You have to plan safely so that innocent people and yourself don't get hurt or killed in the process.
The Texas Department of Transportation reports last year there were more than 22,000 DUI alcohol-related crashes in Texas, and more than 1,000 people died.
We make arrest after arrest, but sometimes it doesn't seem to have any real deterrent effect, but we're going to keep doing it because we're passionate about saving people's lives.
Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin News.
In Round Rock, one person was arrested after a traffic stop that led to a search for explosives. Just after midnight on July 26th, police stopped a man at IKEA and I-35. Officers say they saw explosive-like materials inside the car. Police shut down the north and southbound lanes of I-35 as a precaution. The driver was arrested and were told he was having a mental health crisis. Police determined the materials were not explosive. A man who was wanted in Caldwell and Travis counties is now behind bars. This comes after police caught that man driving a stolen van. It's Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis has the details.
At around 1:30 Sunday morning, Kyle police say a van was all over the road, almost causing a crash. When the car's information was ran, it came back as being stolen out of Austin. Austin police say about 4 hours earlier, the van was stolen at gunpoint near Zilker Park in southwest Austin. Fast forward to Kyle police trying to pull over the van at this gas station off East FM 150. Police say the driver tried to drive out of the parking lot, but patrol vehicles were blocking the way. When he was asked to exit the vehicle, police say he refused and then physically assaulted officers. Eventually, 31-year-old Paul Anthony Candenoza was put in cuffs. He had 5 active warrants, 1 out of Caldwell County for robbery and 4 out of Travis County for assault. Candenoza now faces 13 new charges out of Hays County, including assault on a peace officer, possession, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, and driving while intoxicated. Candenoza was taken to the Hays County jail where police say he had cocaine on him, so he racked up a charge for that, too. He's being held in the Hays County jail on more than $250,000 bond.
The Marble Falls community came together to honor a fallen volunteer fire chief, Michael Phillips. He disappeared while responding to the July 4th weekend floods. Fox 7 Austin's Jenna King was in Marble Falls where friends, family, and first responders gathered to pay their respects.
The Marble Falls community remembering the life and service of Chief Michael Phillips. He spent years serving this community, and today that same community showing up to honor him. It was a hero's farewell for a man who never asked for recognition, but lived every day in service to others. Chief Michael Phillips vanished while responding to a call for help during the devastating July 4th weekend floods. He was driving an emergency vehicle when he disappeared. That vehicle was later recovered, but Phillips was not inside.
On July 5th, he gave his life in the line of duty, responding to a call like he did so many times before. He never hesitated. Serving others wasn't a job, it was who he was.
Chief Phillips served the Marble Falls Fire Department for nearly 3 decades, joining as a volunteer firefighter in 1995 and rising through the ranks to fire chief. A mentor, leader, and friend, he was known for his humility and dedication.
Mike was selfless in his leadership and his support roles on a scene. It did not matter what job needed to be done. He was simply there to help. He would often walk up to command and say, "What do you need, brother? I'm here to help."
But to those who knew him personally, he was more than just a chief. He was a husband, father, grandfather, Air Force veteran, teacher, and public servant.
Michael was the kind of man you could always count on. Selfless, humble, fiercely devoted to those he loved, and lived his life with purpose and his whole heart.
Phillips also worked for Marble Falls ISD for 28 years, overseeing school construction and renovation projects that impacted thousands of students.
Michael took our vision statement seriously, and he had an unyielding commitment to love and inspire students through his exemplary service.
Since his disappearance, Burnett County officials have led a massive multi-agency search involving local first responders, state troopers, military air support, and federal resources. Canine teams, drones, and specialized detection equipment continue to be used in the effort to find him. His loss is deeply felt, but his impact, both in and out of uniform, will be felt for generations to come.
Michael wasn't the kind of man who sought praise or recognition. He didn't need a spotlight or an applause. He simply showed up every single day for the people he loved and the community he cared about.
His department announced the end of watch for Phillips on the 15th. I'm reporting in Marble Falls. Jenna King, Fox 7 Austin News.
For more on the stories featured in this episode, you can head to our website, fox7austin.com, and click on the Crime Watch section at the top of the page. You can also watch on our Fox Local mobile and connected TV apps. They're free to download, and you can stream content on your phone as well as on multiple platforms like Roku and Apple TV. Thanks for watching this edition of the Fox 7 Austin Crime Watch digital exclusive. Don't forget to subscribe to the Fox 7 Austin YouTube channel.